Good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, I would like to consider the hymn, I Sing the Mighty Power of God. It was written by Isaac Watts, who lived between 1674 and 1748, and it is number 6 in our Majesty hymnal. This hymn was first published in 1715 as an 8-stanza song for use with children. Watts said of the hymn, I have endeavored to sink the language to the level of a child's understanding, so I have designed it to profit all and offend none. In modern hymnals, the song is reduced from 8 4-line stanzas to 4 8-line stanzas. Isaac Watts was a scholarly man, having begun his formal education at the age of 4. He began by studying Latin. His language studies included Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. By the age of 7, he was writing poetry, and at 16, he began studying for the ministry. Watts was a nonconformist. They were English Protestants who did not conform to the doctrines or practices of the Church of England. They were separatists or dissenters from whom conservative fundamentalism emerged. Watts published a very large body of work, including sermons, treatises, poems, and hymns. Many of his hymns were written to be sung after the sermon to increase understanding of the biblical text, and more than 800 of his hymns have been published. If we look at Psalm 106, we can see some of the thoughts that Watts included in this hymn. Psalm 106 verses 1 through 2 and verse 8 tell us, Praise the Lord. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Who can utter the mighty deeds of the Lord or declare all his praise? Yet he saved them for his name's sake, that he might make known his mighty power. We can see God's power in this song in verse 1. We can see God's goodness in verse 2. We see the glory of God in verse 2. Lord, how thy wonders are displayed, where'er I turn my eye. If I survey the ground I tread, or gaze upon the sky. There's not a plant or flower below, but makes thy glories known. And clouds arise and tempests blow by order from thy throne. We see God's sovereignty in verse 3, where it says, And clouds arise and tempests blow by order from thy throne, while all that borrows life from thee is ever in thy care. And lastly, we see God's presence in verse 3 also, where it says, And everywhere that man can be, thou, God, art present there. On the whole, this hymn acknowledges and praises and glorifies the Creator in a song of praise and worship. We older children find it a joyful and worshipful acknowledgement of our great and wonderful God. I hope that these hymns that we have been considering in the past couple of weeks are part of your daily worship as you consider the thoughts that the hymn writers have presented. And I hope these hymns that you've been hearing from us about are part of your daily worship, that they have in fact helped you as you honor and praise the Lord each day and as you worship him in your home. We look forward to being able to do this kind of worship together again when we come back together in the worship center. And we do look forward to that first regathering on this Sunday and hope that each one of you can be there, where once again we can praise and honor the Lord our God. Have a good evening, and we hope to see you on Sunday this weekend.